Skookum Kids is hiring. We're looking for someone to take on the role of program manager at the Landing. You can find the role description and instructions about how to apply on our website, skookumkids.org/careers. The Landing is our emergency shelter for children entering foster care for the first time. It opened for the first time 9 years ago in the summer of 2015, and the manager of that program was the very first staff role ever created at Skookum. The role is a really important one for us. This is a person who provides leadership to a hybrid team of staff and contractors and interns and volunteers who together ensure that children in crisis get exactly the trauma-informed care that they need during the crucial first 72 hours that they spend in foster care. In 2019, the Washington State Institute for Public Policy studied the outcomes produced by the Landing and found that relative to the general population of foster care, kids who begin their time with a stay at the Landing are more likely to be placed with siblings, they experience fewer subsequent placement disruptions, and they are more likely to reunify with their family of origin. The Landing is a really essential part of the child welfare system in our region, but the most special thing about it, in my opinion, is that the majority of the work at the Landing is done by a team of volunteers. That men and women who have other interests and other responsibilities, but know that this is important. So they get some training and pass a background check, and they put themselves on the schedule 1 or 2 times a month, most of them. And they're available when kids need a soft place to land as they enter foster care. So the job, program manager at the Landing, is to lead that team and to teach what trauma-informed care looks like, to ensure that in the flurry created by the chaotic circumstances of first-time placement and many eager participants, that nothing is lost or forgotten, that not a single piece of paperwork or a favored stuffed animal goes missing. It's to involve a very compassionate community of volunteer staff, interns, and contractors in the important work of the Landing. As Skookum has grown, there have been a few other things, you might call them like micro programs, which are volunteer-centric in a really similar way, and this team has been responsible for those things as well. So for example, across the community there are volunteers who meet regularly with kids in foster care, because research shows that the presence of another safe, healthy adult in a child's life goes a long way to improving social and particularly educational outcomes, and we call that Skookum Mentors. And once a month we host a gathering of 50 or more kids called Family Night Out. And for many kids, this is a chance to connect with friends and sometimes siblings who are or were placed in foster care. For their parents, it's a much needed evening off. And all of these things are the responsibility of the same team that makes the Landing run so smoothly. So the Landing is the largest of several volunteer-centric programs that this program manager will be leading. You can hear how important this role is at Skookum. When I imagine the kind of person that we want to attract, I think of a reflection I saw recently from Brad Stulberg. He wrote that excellence is caring deeply, paying attention, repeated practice, learning from failure, and staying curious, and steadfast dedication, and growing, and discovering, and showing up over and over and over again. Which is to say, it's a lot like love. If that sounds like you, I would love to hear from you. Details at skookumkids.org/careers.